as to who this man is, what his motivations were, and most importantly, how did the Russian authorities apprehend him? What led them to him, and how did they apprehend him?
Good evening, dear guests. Thank you for the opportunity to be the guest on this show. First of all, I would like to say that the Russian Federal Security Service has an extensive experience in counterterrorism operations, and obviously, to the information that we have for this moment, because FSB is not sharing pretty much information in public. So, but the information that we can operate, we can say that this guy who is has been located, and he's a regional, local from one of the Central Asian region country, has been spending time in Turkey from April until June. So he was obviously prepared, and that was a carefully elaborated plan of his dislocation in Russia and the following up transportation to India. And indeed, it's an unprecedented occasion, because the first time FSB has identified a person from the Central Asia who has been planning a terror attack in India. And I think this is an evident fact. I don't think that it's a wake-up call for the security services of both countries, as well for Russia and for India, because it has been a set of communications and negotiations between the Secretary of the National Security Council of Russia, Mr. Nikolai Patrushev, and the advisor of Prime Minister of Narendra Modi of India, Mr. Ajit Doval. That was a set of communications starting from the last year until August of the current year. It has been massively discussed the issues of counterterrorism attacks and the opportunities of much closer collaboration between our states.
Okay, let me ask Dr. Tarakarta, when this news broke and it was attributed to the Russian Federal Security Bureau, and of course a Russian news agency put this story out. But Dr. Karta, what was surprising was the Indian intelligence agencies were not sure about this. In fact, no information had been passed on to them by the Russian authorities till this afternoon. Subsequently, of course, after the arrest and after the news broke, the information has been shared. But how worrying is it that here you have a foreign national going to Turkey and then going to Russia, and the Russian security agencies apprehending him there, but he was supposedly en route to India to carry out a major terrorist attack here to target a political representative?
Oh, it's extremely worrying in this case, because like you said, we've never had such an instance before, as the previous speaker said. But having said that, I'm not terribly surprised at Turkey being part of this, because much of what we've begun to expect from Pakistan, a lot of the disinformation, the communication, the finances, the social media content is all coming from Turkey. So Turkey, that kind of a link we've been seeing for some time. And I'll tell you why it's not surprising is because, Zaka, if you remember, this whole Islamic State started 2015. They were going on. They were all Afghanistan, Pakistan, all that. Yeah. Nothing about India. Okay. Until they formed this, suddenly one fine day they announced this, we're going to have an Islamic State of Pakistan and India. That was somewhere in 2019, late 2019, if I remember correctly. Then the whole group changes its character. Now it starts talking about India, that, there's a whole a kind of a Islamic State, that magazine is started up. You caught that guy in Hyderabad who was doing the magazine with some people from Kashmir. Feed was coming in from Kashmir, from Maldives, from within India. So the whole character of the group changed after 2019. And where was this whole publication being put together? It was being put together in Karachi. So you see, it is, to me, when I look at this, it is the same thing we've been seeing for years, except that now these guys are a little more careful for whatever reason. I'm not saying, I don't have proof that the Pakistani state is involved. All I'm saying is a lot of things which were concentrated in Pakistan has shifted elsewhere.